Storm. So leash reactive apparently?
Yeah, we haven't even really tried to take her on any walks because when we first got her, if she sees a dog or a person, she'll like lunge at them and bark. And she's like the size where it like scares the owner. So
Sure.
we're not sure. We don't think it's like aggressive, but it's alarming. I
She's
think.
done that to a bunch of dogs that have come by our fence, and then once they come in, she's perfect.
Yeah, it's a big, bad sounding bark.
For
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
So what we're gonna do here is, we'll actually put this, is she okay with people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, she's great with you. Storm.
Because this harness that you have on her is making the problem worse.
Yeah. We just kind of did it on the walk here, and we were gonna obviously go to the.
So we're gonna just do this for now, just to give
Take
us
this.
more control.
Take this. Yeah.
There we go. And then who's gonna be starting with her?
I will.
All right, so I'm gonna hand her to you here, sir. And then you would just flip the switch here to dog 2 in there. All right. And this is my friend Bill, by the way.
Hey, Bill.
He's doing the camera work for me. So we're gonna start with the basics, which is gonna be the heel. And then that's gonna be the foundation for the reactivity. And it's like, okay, so what's our number set at currently?
41.
All right, let's go and go down to 25. Have you done any work with the collar at all?
We've done a little bit of the place with her.
Okay.
It's been a little challenging.
Okay, sure. So what we're gonna do here is, we're gonna go to look at Storm, and on 25, we're gonna go and give a tap here, okay?
Yep.
Tap, tap, tap. Let's go 28. And I'm gonna have you pull forward to pull her out from behind you. Is that what you see?
Generally, not when it's on that low.
Okay. So it might be because she's just very stressed out.
Yeah.
You see this tab here? You want to keep this tab right there. Okay? You want to relax down. Relax. What side do you want her to walk on?
I like the left.
You like the left? Okay. So we're going to switch hands with the leash here. We're going to put the leash in your left hand.
In front of me or behind? Like,
In front of you is fine. Just pull right here. All right. Just pull, pull, pull. Pull, 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 pull. There we go. Good. And I'm going to have you short about to there. There you go. Okay. Good. And then relax. So what we're going to do is that back and forth exercise. So I'll coach you through it. So remember, whenever Storm gets ahead of you, you're going to make that immediate right pivot like this and tap to bring her here. She shoots forward. You're going to immediately turn, tap, keep going. She passes, turn, tap, and just do that whole spiel again. Okay. You might have to use a bit of the leash to direct her. Because right there when she felt that tap, she just like, rah,
just went everywhere.
yeah. So I'll coach you through it. Don't worry about it. Nothing I haven't seen before.
Yeah.
So we're going to go just move forward. Forward. Walk forward. Relax that arm. Turn. Tap. Relax. Turn. Tap. Turn. Tap. Tap. Turn. Tap. Tap. Turn, tap. Keep forward. Turn, tap. Pull to your left, tap, keep forward. Good, relax. Good. Turn, forward. Give a little bit of slack. Pull to your left, tap, good, relax. Yes, some slack. One little, there you go, that's good. Turn, tap, tap. Forward. Forward, pull to your left, tap, turn, tap, 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 good. Keep forward. Pull to your left, good. Relax, turn, tap forward, tap forward. Tap. hold your left, tap, tap, keep forward, tap, turn, keep forward, tap. Let's go down to, hold your left tap, 22. Going to turn, forward. Good, now slow turn. Good, forward, good. Going to speed up a little. Tap, tap. Good. Going to slow turn. Good, tap forward. Good. Slow walk. Keep walking, slow walk. And stop. Good. Lightly pull up. A little bit more pressure. Tap. 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 Relax. Okay, we're gonna ignore that for now. Go ahead and just step over her so she's on your left. Okay, I'm gonna have you short release a little bit, about halfway. There you go. Now pull up. Tap. Relax. Tap. Relax. Good. And there you go. Okay, I just tried that she puts her butt down. Okay, because I don't want her laying down. Good. So that was easier than we anticipated there. Okay. So obviously, I don't think you saw Vito's first the healing classes, right? So this is how we taught Vito.
Yeah.
Is whenever he gets ahead, is instead of pulling him back or remoting him to come back, we would just go the opposite way and remote to get him to teach him to move to our left leg. Okay, so it's a very simple exercise, and it almost always starts like that. Okay,
Now, he's a little more whiny, but he didn't want to listen as much.
Yeah, he was actually going up on the number to actually make it.
Yeah, he was like 50, something like that.
Yeah.
60.
So here, every dog's personality type is different. So, we started a little bit higher because you guys are already familiar with this. If this was like, if you guys are completely new clients, I would have been like a 10, worked our way up or whatever. Because you guys are already familiar with this and know the process, it's like, okay, cool, we can jump right into 24. For sure. The number that was concerning for her right off the bat, and that's why that was just so quick.
Yeah.
Okay? So I always wanted to work at what we call that working number. The working number is it's gonna change, according to the environment. If, like, let's say there was a lot of dogs running around and stuff, which is like really just adrenalized and pent up, then we'd most likely the number because of all that energy going on. Okay? Questions so far? No? All right, we're gonna do a bit more.
Yeah.
Okay, so go ahead and instead of going forward, just turn to your
You want me to use verbal language?
Not yet. Yeah, so we're gonna do the same thing. We're still gonna, even though you guys are familiar with it, we wanna give that week of just using the turning and the tapping.
Makes sense.
To get her to walk, and then once we feel like that's pretty solid, then we're gonna add in that heel movement.
Gotcha.
Okay? Pull your left. Yep. Pull your left. Yep. There you go. Up. 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 Yep. Yep. Now, like this. Up and your tap. Up. Tap. Tap. Relax. Right. Relax. To your left again. Tap. Tap. Good. This is all fine. This is a dog with no structure, overstimulated. She's not being stubborn. She's not being resistant. Okay, she just doesn't know what to do. Okay, so that overstimulation and like lack of direction is what creates a lot of that behavior. Because she's like, I don't know what to do, so I'm just going to lash out. Okay, because I'm too stressed out. So here, all that overcompensating for the responses and stuff tells me this is a dog just overstimulated. Right? I'm going to give that slack again. So whenever you need to have more immediate control over storm, I want you to think shorting the leash because that gives you immediate leverage.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, if there's too much up, tap, and then to your left, tap, 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 tap. Right, grab, you want to choke the fire, get some more of that immediate leverage. That's good. Right, nose down. Now up. Yep. 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 Pull to your left. Remember, you want to choke up on it because you want to have, see how you're stretched out like this when nothing's happening? Good, yep. 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 Yep, yep. There you go. Now up. Yep. Relax. Now take a step back. There we go. Okay? So, you have to be very direct because what she's doing when she's spiraling around and stuff is she's trying to, you know, there's resistance. Is she on the CPU? Busy? Or spinning? Is all that jumping around and stuff is resistance, okay? So here, you have to work through all that nonsense in order for her to learn it's not going to be enough, okay? Most people tend to stop or reset or try to like start over.
Yeah.
Dog learns nothing, okay? So right there I said, put her here.
Yeah.
That's what she was fighting about, right? So then you could very easily just walk over to her side, but then you do all the work.
Yeah.
Right? You have to make her fix that issue in order for her to go like, okay, that's not going to be a possibility for me. Okay? Questions? All right, so now we want to give slack back because we don't need that immediate control. That's good right there. And then you'll walk forward. Are you bringing Stanley in there? No. He's got to be muzzled too.
Yeah, last couple turns that we come
Pull your left. Yep, good. Good. Go ahead and slow down. Slow stop. Good. Now, yep, choke up. There you go. Tap. Yep, up, tap. Right now, almost. Now here, choke up on your leash. Now you move directly straight back to your, there you go, to your side, up, to your left, tap, 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 both wheels, up. Now relax. We're not going to care that she's facing behind you. We're just going to care that she's on that side, okay? So we're challenging her by saying, no, you're going to go here, but you're giving some leniency in the sense of where she's facing, just so that she gets the concept. Once this gets easier for her, she goes, oh, they just need me to sit on this side, you're going to get a more direct forward sit.
Yeah.
Okay? Now you want to give the slack back. So remember, you're only choking up when she's doing that fucking around. That gives you more control. But when you go into now we're walking mode, then you give the slack. Okay? Go ahead and forward. Yeah, right, relax that arm. Good turn. Yeah, good. Good turn. Yeah, good. Good. Now slow down. Slower. Stop. Choke up. Choke in. There you go. Now relax. Feel a little bit easier.
Yeah.
Again, forward. Hold your left tap, tap, good. Turn, tap, tap. Good, keep forward but slow. Good turn, now slow to a stop. Yep, up, yep, 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 right. Right, yep, yep, good. Up, there you go, good move. Right, now more to your, straight to your left, tap, 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 choke up again. Yep, tap, 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 tap. What's your number?
22.
Let's go to 26. Tap, 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 tap. 30. Tap, tap. Right there. Wait a moment. We'll take that for now. Now give slack. Very good. So 22, 26, 30. But on the 30, you start to see her move a bit.
Yeah.
Okay, so I can tell her breaking point by just playing with the number a little bit. And as soon as she starts to fidget around like that, that tells me we're getting close. Okay? Heel, forward. And slow to stop. Yeah. Pull in, yeah, up, yeah, to your left. Yeah, not just up. Yep, 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 yep. Just be careful with your, yep, 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 yep. 34. Tap, 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 tap. 38. Tap, 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 tap. Yep, 42. Tap, 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 tap. 36. Yep. Tap, 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 tap. 50. Tap, 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 tap. Almost. Right there. Now relax. Wait a moment. Okay, good. Let her settle. So now, choke up a bit on your leash. And you're going to pull directly to your left. Tap, up, tap, tap. There you go. Now relax. Relax your leash. There we go. Okay. Now, a little small step to your right. Good. Now lightly up. Tap. Tap. Wait a moment. Tap. Tap, tap. Up. There you go. Now relax. Relax. There. Okay. We're going to let this go for now. So now you're at the 50. So that's resistance. You saw it, like she was just like this, right? And she was, you could see the muscle contracting, but she didn't want to do it. So that's why I go incrementally. Until I find where she's like, okay, crap, like I can't ignore this anymore. Right now we start to get that concerning number. Every time you break that resistance, you're making it easier for yourself. Okay? Because most people, you know, like, oh, the dog doesn't want to do it, the dog's too stressed out, the dog's going in the back. I'm like, I get that. But they're doing it because they don't want to do whatever it is we're telling them to. And if we give in, they learn, oh, I can get away with that if I just do this. Like, the owner at some point is going to give up. Make sense? So the dog I just came from did the same shit. Okay? Right? Except he also tried to like go crazy and whatever. But I worked him, and as soon as we worked him through it, he was much better. Okay? So we're
We're her fourth home. You said
you're her fourth home for a reason. Right? Because that nonsense, they're like, you know, people want the easy dog. They want the dog that they can enjoy, that's well behaved, right? And all that stuff, and they don't have to do training. If they do training, it's $100 at PetSmart. It's with food, and it's like, oh, that's a good dog, right?
Nobody wants to do it.
Yeah. My pit, by the time she was 3 months, I went for a home. You know, I mean, she's 8 years old now, 9 years old, yeah. You know, I had her since she was 3 months, but within 1 month of leaving the breeder, she went to 3 homes. Because she was, you know, a bred. So, nothing that I haven't seen before. It's just the time and patience, and of course the appropriate tools to like work the dog through that. Okay, so we're gonna some more back and forth, then we're gonna swap handlers. Hold your left hip, so. There you go, good. Now relax. We're gonna turn. So for her, the walking part is easy. It's the stationary part that she's not liking.
Yeah.
Turn. Then you're going to slow stop again. Okay. Yep. Wait a moment. Now forward tap. Out. Yep, there you go. Tap. Up tap. Relax. There we go. Better. Give that slack back. Good. Forward. Yeah, it is Vito. That's why I'm laughing. He's like, why are mom and dad here and they're not paying me any mind? Go and slow to stop again. Better. We're not going to care where she sits or how she sits.
I didn't make it at all.
You didn't have to, because I could already see her going into it. Because now she's starting to learn, I can make my life easier or I can make my life harder. That's all it is, right? So, like growing up, like I was spanked, you know, and I learned what things would go from spanking. So I could make my life harder by doing those things, or make my life easier by avoiding them.
Right.
You know, so same thing here. And we're doing this with no frustration. There's no yelling. There's no yanking around or stuff like that. It's just push a button. She dictates what the level is by her behavior. If she was super compliant at 15, we'd be at 15 right now.
Right.
But she wasn't, right? And we do that gradual increase each time till we find her number. Every dog has a breaking point. It's just what's going to be hers. Okay? Currently, hers in my facility with a few dogs out is 50.
For sure.
Okay? A few more, then we're going to swap. Yep. Yep. Good. And then go to stop.
She's really grinding into me. Do I also kind of pull out too?
Like up. Wait a moment. We're going to ignore that for now. Good. We can go back down. Let's go down to 28. The reason why she's doing that is because she's being super close to the collar. I just ignore it. If it becomes too much of a problem, then we'll do those left turns out of nowhere where you would just turn into her to pop her with your right leg to teach her to give space. Okay, but for right now, it's a good problem because
She wants to
be next to you. Right. Okay, we'll do one more.
baby steps. Right?
Yeah. Keep that on relax. There you go.
Yeah, the first day we got her, he was very angry.
Yeah. Who, Vito?
Yeah.
How old is she?
She's 7 or 8 months now.
I was gonna say, yeah, she doesn't look like a full. I mean, she's shepherd, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. She hasn't tweaked. And slow to stop. Yeah. Right. That's fine. That's there you go. And relax. Right there. We're gonna accept that for now. Okay. So we're gonna stop. All right. Questions before you get started?
I don't think so. Should I try to get her? Should I just go?
Yeah, so you'll reinforce what Sam had her in, so she's in this space, lightly pull up, tap, tap, wait a moment, okay, tap, right, relax, up, tap, up, there we go, now relax, there we go. So you have 2 points of pressure here. You have your remote, and you have your leash. Okay, so this style of leash is a slip leash. It puts tension around the neck or pressure whenever you're pulling it, so be mindful of that. So you have 2 points of pressure, right? But as soon as she gives you what you want and you relax on the leash and you relax on the remote, she's going, oh, all I need to do is put my butt down next to them and everything goes away.
Okay.
Okay? So go ahead and give the slack now, because now you're going to start moving. So you're shifting between 2 modes. You're shifting between walking mode, where I need to have extra leash, and stationary mode, which is I need to choke up on it because I know she's going to flail around. Okay? Instead of moving forward, I'm going to have you go and just make it turn off that way. Yep. Inches forward. Yep, just walk. Yep, and relax. Good. Keep forward. Just walk through it. Yeah. Now here, keep that on your lap. Yeah. Now you're gonna do a slow turn. Yeah, relax your arm. Keep forward. And you slow down. So stop. Now you choke up. Light. Oh, there you go. And relax. So then we didn't have to do anything. And she starts going to it, right?
Yeah.
So when you first tried it, she started that nonsense. And then you follow through like Sam did. So then she just learned like, oh crap, like if I try this with mom, it's gonna be the same thing as it was with dad.
Okay.
So it should make things easier. That's why the consistency is key.
Yeah.
Okay? Forward. Go and turn. Relax your arms, keep relaxed. Now here, turn to your right. Tap, turn to your right. Tap. There you go. Relax your arms. Slow turn. Keep relaxed. There you go. So whenever a storm, and then slow to stop. Yep. There we go. Wait a moment. There you go. That's fine. Now, whenever she gets ahead of you, you're just thinking this right away. An immediate pivot, okay? And tapping to redirect her. So for storm, when she gets away from you, when she gets away from you and she feels this, she turns around and goes, oh, mom's going that way. She catches up and it stops.
Okay.
She gets ahead again, it turns on. She turns around, oh, now mom's going that way. She catches up, it stops.
Okay.
So she's learning. Right up. Yeah. She's learning that she wants him to be. Yeah. Relax. Good. Did she snip at your hand?
Oh, no.
No. Okay. So, she's learning being here is a safe space. Okay, this is the pocket that she wants to be in. That's always the foundation for everything that we do. Okay, so every dog that I get when it's reactivities, because you said she barks at dogs and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Yeah. So all that is just pent up stress, and then when she sees a dog, she just gets even more stressed out, and then she starts lunging and barking. This is the foundation for all that stuff. Okay, so when you walk her now, I would make life easier. First, light pressure up, tip, and relax. Good. Is you want to walk her like this now. Okay, and I'd walk her separate of Vito to make your life easier. I would go at quieter times in the meantime. Okay, because you want to build up your skills with, because she's different from Vito, right? Tip, good, and relax. Her energy's different. She's obviously reactive, very loud, kind of pushy. Like Vito didn't give us none of that, right?
No.
Right.
So here, different dog. Yep. Good. Just like with kids, you can't rate, like if you have 4 kids, each kid might be different in terms of personality. Okay? So you're using what's appropriate according to the dog. In this case, going up higher and all that stuff. Vito could be great on 24 and hers could be 64.
Great.
And you're just having to remember to just go between the 2 numbers. Okay? So I'm going to have you move forward again. Remember, as soon as she starts passing you, I want you to immediately pivot to your right. Keep relaxed. Then you're going to do a slow turn. And keep straight. Keep forward. There you go. Good. Now slow down. See right there, she's trying to get ahead of you. That's when you put it off. Turn and tap. Yeah, like that. Immediate to your right. There you go. Now keep forward. Now relax. Turn to your right tap. Good. Keep forward. Now slow walk. Slower. And stop. Good. And relax. Good. And try it again. Okay. So it's just getting used to seeing when she's getting ahead of you. Just doing that immediate 180 and going back the opposite way. Okay? You can adjust it. Look like her collar got twisted a little bit. Okay. Try it again. Forward. Good, tap, good. Good, sounds good. Go and speed up a little bit.
The only thing that makes that noise now is when
And slow. Oh, really? Pivot, good pivot, yep. And you're gonna slow, it'll stop. Good. Right, we'll take that for now. We'll just take a step back with her. That's okay for now, okay? Good, relax, good, lean forward. Okay, good. Don't put her on that harness though.
No.
I get rid of that thing.
Yeah.
Because that's gonna make her explode for sure.
Yeah.
And slow to stop.
We did it just because it was the best way for, I don't know if it is a better way for us to control her. Is it?
Well, I mean physically, because you can grab the handle and pick her up,
Yeah.
right? But you're actually making her more reactive.
No, I get you.
So it's like you have more control technically, but you're making the problem
Yeah,
worse.
the reason we got it too is because the front has, if you have a lot better control on the
Slow to
front.
stop.
I mean,
Uh-huh.
I don't
Oh,
know.
because of the front slam?
Yeah, because we would I'd link her to that a lot, and then that would prevent her from, we tried to.
A little bit of a pull forward. Yep. Yep. There you go. Better. Better. That's okay. We'll take that.
We tried like 3 or 4 walks with her, and it was so bad.
Yeah, because the front clip, what happens is it
It doesn't.
turns the pressure,
Yeah.
but the harness itself provokes
sure.
reactivity. Yeah. Okay. So, because if you try to do both, you're going to have conflicting messages. And I actually have a client right now, and I allowed her to do the harness for the first week. She had a little dog,
Yeah.
but he's super reactive, and he was like literally hanging like a little monkey
Yeah.
on the leash and stuff. So then this past weekend when I saw her, which was her second class, we switched from the harness to that leash, and he did way better.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we haven't put Vito on a harness ever. Really.
Not since
we
this
started
kid was-
training stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
So I would just, is that a snap buckle collar or like no, flat buckle?
It snaps. The collar?
Oh,
Or-
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's a good one.
So I suggest flat buckles like a belt or like the E-collar type of collar because those are secure. Snap buckles can come undone. So like let's say, you get cut off guard, she lunges
Yeah.
and hits the end of the leash, she can pop that collar. I've actually,
It happened earlier today. Remember when the dog ran?
oh, but that was a harness though.
Oh, I thought that was
Yeah, back out of the
sorry.
harness, but yeah, but I had that happen at least 4 or 5 times in this year alone where
wow.
something happened to the dog and it popped the collar,
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's
So,
okay.
yeah, so I always do slips or, a flat buckle, flat buckle, which is like a belt. So just like the style of your E-collar, that's a flat buckle.
Okay, yeah.
So nothing fancy, but it's the most secure.
For sure.
Okay, you're not having to worry about, is the dog gonna break out of it or anything like that.
Makes sense.
Okay, we're gonna do a few more passes. What time again?
Just before 40.
5:40?
Huh?
5:40?
Just before, yeah.
Good, and we slow down to a stop. Good, relax. Good, forward. So we're really pushing the stopping because that's where she's having issues, is with that auto sit. We're gonna slow down to a stop.
When we go home, can we walk her like this on the way home?
Oh yeah, you can walk it, yep, tap, tap, there you go. Relax your pressure a bit, that's fine. I'm okay with this for now. Okay, so go ahead and just turn so that you're like this, there you go. But if she tries to lay down, we're gonna correct that, okay? Yeah, I walk dogs like this all the time.
Yeah.
There's
Well, I
no-
just didn't know after our first training session if she cared if we did.
Because it's not so redundant, like, it's,
We've done it before with Vito, so.
yeah. The more you do this, the better she's gonna get faster,
For sure.
okay? Forward. Go to your left, tap, good. Tap, pull to your left, you're good, now turn, good move, now relax, good. Then you're gonna slow to a stop. Good, relax, better, forward. Relax the arm, there you go.
You feed her 3 cups a day and you can still see her.
Oh yeah, no, my pet used to eat like 4 to 5 cups at this age and she was super strong.
Yeah.
Slow down.
Only a spaz compared to Vito.
Yeah.
Yep. Good, you're gonna relax right there. Excellent. Questions so far? So are you keeping her? Is that the plan here?
We are.
Yeah,
Okay. So how long have you had her for now? A month?
We've had it for probably
yeah, it's really been about a month.
4 or 5 weeks, yeah.
Okay. So how have they been together?
At first, he didn't want any part of her, probably for the first day, or it took a couple days.
Sure.
Yeah.
We brought her home, we literally had to like hold it, because he saw us walking in the gate with her. And
Oh, sure.
his reaction was just,
It was so bad.
yeah.
And now they're fine. They
Now
look
they're,
great.
yeah, now they're fine. He definitely is the alpha, because
Okay.
whenever she kind of gets around his territory, but luckily she's big enough to handle him. They get little scraps sometimes, but it's friendly. It breaks up in a couple seconds.
Okay. Friendly, how
Just in the yard, like chasing each other, and then like one of them bites them in a spot they don't like.
Oh, I see. Then it
Yeah.
starts off as play, and then like a
Yeah, or
moment.
when Vito gets like tired of it, he'll let her know, like, I'm done playing.
Okay.
Yeah, just like a really aggressive.
Back off.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I suggest that you control that yourselves.
Got that.
Because most or everybody goes by like, oh, it's been fine. So that dog right there on the bed, it started with a couple of scraps, and then he sent the dog to the ER almost dead.
He did.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. So
Was that here?
no, this is a rescue dog. We just got him a couple of days ago. Okay. So they were fostering to adapt, and they only had him for like I think a month or so. And it was just like you said, a few scraps here and there,
Yeah.
whatever. And then they came home to a dog that almost bled out, and had to take him to her to the ER. And then right away, obviously, they kicked him out. But when they asked me like what I thought about it, and I was like, well, there was clearly signs because there was already tension, you know, and then no matter like what, like there was still like fights.
Yeah.
And then they were trusting him alone, unattended with that other dog as well. That was the big mistake. Okay,
Yeah.
at least the other things they were present.
Right.
Okay. So I'm not trying to make you paranoid.
No, but if we pick up any other signs, or if we see it,
So it's not about picking up more signs. It's about being proactive.
yeah.
So like, let's say they're in the yard and I'm out there with them. I don't let it get to the point where Vito has to like aggress or become aggressive towards her to back her off. I back her off for Vito. And you do it with this.
Yeah, no, that's what I was gonna say. So in that situation, it's us letting her know when to stop, because
Correct.
it's not her that's really. I mean, he's the aggressive one, I guess, in the situation, but
Well, what's happening is she's crossing a boundary. Like, let's say they're playing, and Vito goes, "I'm done now,"
yeah,
and she goes, "I'm a puppy. I want to keep playing."
that's 100% what it is.
Yes.
Every time that situation comes up, she's in his face.
Yes. So then he's not becoming aggressive. He's actually correcting her,
Yeah,
but it looks like aggression. Yeah. Yeah. Good. And he's setting boundaries for her, which is healthy, right?
Yeah.
But what happens is, I know people will say like, "Let the dogs handle it," but then you end up with that.
for sure.
Okay, because he handled it. He just almost killed. You got to like dogs don't think like humans.
No,
You know, like a human can like knock someone out and be like, you learned your lesson. But there's also some people that almost like beat someone half to death. You know, that's not healthy,
100% true.
right? So think of it the same way as for dogs, but you don't know what it's gonna be. Okay, so you're being proactive with like, you know what? I know Vito doesn't like this, so I'm gonna stop her, so he doesn't feel like he has to.
Okay.
Okay, and then same thing for him. Like growing up, I had two brothers and a sister, and I remember one time I think I spanked my younger brother, something like that, and then I got spanked for spanking my younger brother. My mom was like, "That's not your place. If you have a problem, if there's an issue, you tell us."
Yeah.
Right? We're the authority. We're the ones that have the power to do that. Right? So the same thing for these guys. They're like little kids, and then Vito's going like, "I'm going to discipline her," but it's not his job. It's your job as the parents.
And then we get mad at Vito because he did that.
Exactly, right?
Even though we really shouldn't. We kind of.
So the moment you see those signs, you step in and you correct her.
All right.
Okay? Now, like, let's say it happens, then I correct Vito and I correct her. You know, because I'm being fair. I'm like, that's not your job, and then you need to back off.
Yeah.
Okay? In the yard, it's easier because you're just watching for the energy, and you just tap the button. you know, whenever she's getting to that point, and like if you come, because you can control energy with this.
Yeah.
You know, like if it's getting too much and you're like, this is the problem area, tap to settle it down, and then they continue playing, because you don't let them escalate.
No, for sure.
You know, I mean, it's like kids in high school. Like I remember they used to play a game called Slaps.
Yeah.
In the bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah. And somebody would slap something too hard, next you know you have a fight. But it started off as a friendly game.
For sure. Makes
Does
sense.
that make sense? So when you go home, I want you to now look at the behaviors and go like, oh, like these are things where Vito's giving clear signs that she needs to back off. And that's what you can step in with, okay? And I can send you some videos on what's called a bonker, so that you can correct her without needing to becoming dependent on this within the home. Okay, but outside in the yard, because they're going to be zooming around and stuff, I would say this is your best bet. On the walks, this is your best bet, but within the home, and it's just like maybe Vito's sleeping on the couch and she's like going over to like, you know, poking him to play, and you know, he's not going to like it. Yeah, you would correct that before it escalates.
Okay. So keep keep them both with the shock collar on all times in case he is.
Oh no, because the approach that I'm going to give you is so that you don't need to have the collars on. The collars, these would be on like in the yard where there's going to be a lot more energy, right? Because dogs are more likely to zoom around and all that stuff in the yard, and in the house they might be fine, you know, or they might be things that need to be corrected, but not to the point where you always need to have this on. Okay. So it gives you another option to stop behaviors without becoming dependent on this within the home. Okay, so, but this is only for stuff that you want to stop. So like if Vito's on the couch and Storm goes over to like pester him, you would correct her before she even gets there. Because you already know what's going to happen, right? So don't wait for her to be here to Vito and then him getting pissed and then responding. Correct her as she's on the way to go pester Vito. Okay, so that she thinks like, oh crap, I can't even think or even try to get to him, or I'll get corrected. Okay, people tend to wait for the explosion. They tend to wait for the extreme behavior before they go into the correction mode.
I'm one of those people.
You want to be proactive, yeah. Because people, you know, think like, well, I hope the dog makes the right decision.
Yeah.
You're gonna make relax. You make him make the right decision. Okay. I never put anything on dogs.
Yeah.
Because then you end up like that household right there. Okay.
Sure.
That's not the first time I've come into a home with a dead dog, the dog that was almost killed. I've come into homes with a dog that's sutured up, drains and all that stuff, and is scared to death of the other dog because the dog whipped her out so bad. Okay? So, I'm not saying that it's going to happen,
No,
but you don't know until like, holy crap,
you don't
it
want
happened. You know? Because that's what happens to people.
Yeah.
You know?
That happened to Mickey, actually. My sister.
Yeah.
They were, where were they at back then? They were walking Mickey, or she was walking Mickey, and a American Bulldog got off leash and like ran at Mickey and literally punctured a hole in his back.
Yeah. Oh yeah, she told me about that. Yeah.
And he was totally like shell-shocked for like a couple of days.
No, yeah. You know, and then I know she had mentioned that it like caused a lot of issues after that.
Yeah.
Which rightfully so, right? It was a very traumatic experience for them, so it caused a lot of distress.
Yeah.
So that's really common. I actually have had 3 to 5 clients recently whose dogs were attacked by off-leash dogs and then developed aggression issues.
Oh, so they were
Because they're thinking like, oh shit, like, you know, I got attacked, so now I need to defend myself, and I'm gonna be on the defensive by throwing that out there first to scare the dogs away. Okay? Questions about this?
No.
So your homework for this week is just this exercise. Don't worry about saying the word heel. So remember, before you do your exercise, start off with the potty break first, get that out of the way, and then start your walking exercise. Okay? As long as Storm is walking well, you don't need to turn. You can just keep going straight.
Yeah.
Okay? If you're going to come across a person with their dog, you want to step aside to the edge of the sidewalk, shorten your leash, because if you shorten your leash, you're giving there's less range of motion for her to go to, and always up. Always straight up, okay? Up de-escalates, back or up and back escalates.
Got it.
Okay, so then you can make the problem worse by doing that incorrectly.
For sure.
Okay?
So since barking at other dogs is kind of one of her things we don't really necessarily like. If we are approaching a dog and she does start barking while we're walking, how do I
So you want to step aside?
step aside?
And
then
be
if she
proactive.
starts barking,
You would up and tap.
up and tap.
Okay? So kind of like what we did today, 20, 24,
Yeah.
28, 32.
Wherever it calms her down.
Yes.
We're gonna get her like sitting like this. which is-
Yeah, and I don't want you to think of this as a sitting, a sit.
Okay.
This isn't a sit.
Heel, right? It's like
Technically, it's a heel,
positional.
but now we're in behavior mode.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is what I would call a relaxed state. Okay, so when she's lunging and barking, don't worry about sit or anything. When you're up and when you're pulling up and tapping, you're telling her like, cut the crap, calm down.
Yeah.
Okay. When you see a dog approaching, just assume she's going to be
She's
reactive.
gonna do it and
Step aside, because if you're like, are you going to be like, because you're going to be questioning, like, are you going to be good or not, right? And it's going to suck if it's a moment where she is reactive, because then you're right next to the dog. Whereas if you're being proactive right now, just stepping aside and letting it happen, it puts you more to an advantage.
for sure.
Okay? And if you go to my YouTube channel and you look at like reactive dog, like you'll see what, like when I work with clients with like a dog just like Storm here, how I have them step aside, go short the leash, go up, attach the dog into a relaxed position, and then just watch the dog bring signs of reactivity. So if she starts to pucker her mouth, close her mouth, or like load up and like kind of get puffy, then I'm telling you, oh crap, it's probably gonna happen.
Yeah.
Okay? So then, but this is the baseline. If you're going up on your number and you feel like she's getting worse,
Then
stop with the
stop.
remote, just up and away.
Got it.
Okay, just pull out, contain her. Once it passes, calm her down, lower your numbers, whatever, and then go back to what you're doing. Okay? And then you let me know, and then we'll make adjustments as we go on. Okay? But for now, you just want to focus on walking with her,
Yeah.
getting her to walk beside you, be proactive and step aside whenever you see dogs approaching. Shorten that leash, tap her into a relaxed position. Watch her, see what she does. If nothing happens, we're good. We can continue walking. If she starts to get, become reactive, up, start tapping, bump it. If you feel like it's getting worse, just leave this alone and just control her.
Yeah.
Okay?
Got it.
Anything else?
I think that's it.
Grab Vito, please.